In this lesson, we're going to be talking about Ethernet. Ethernet is really a layer 2 protocol, although it specifies some layer 1 applications as well. Before I get into some more details about Ethernet, I want to talk a little bit about the history of where it came from. Xerox was actually developed in about 1973-1974 at the Palo Alto Research Center for Xerox. Now, Xerox PARC, and it's called PARC because of the Palo Alto Research Center, is actually well known for a long history of innovation. Here's actually an article describing how Xerox created the very first computer mouse. And there's a picture here, or an illustration of it. The first mouse was actually wood-based, so it was basically a wooden box that had the electronic components in it. Xerox actually also created the very first graphical user interface. So that's where Ethernet came from. Ethernet came out of a long history of research and development activities at Xerox. Ethernet was created as a way to more easily do local area networks or link computers together, and that was all part of the project where the first graphical user interface was created. They really kind of wanted to create an office where everybody's kind of interacting on computers, and that was sort of Xerox's vision a long time ago, back in the early 70s. So that's where Ethernet came from. It's a layer 2 protocol. It's actually a family of protocols. When you think of Ethernet, often people think of these cables right here. So you can see this is a Cat5 cable, and the Cat5 component of it is the cabling part. And it's Cat5 because it's category 5, and there are varying degrees of categories which specify really the gauge of the copper inside the cable itself. There's actually 4 pairs of thin copper wires or small copper wires, which you can kind of see right here. You can see the different colors of the copper wires as they come out into the jack. Now, the jack here is an RJ45 jack, and this is pretty common Ethernet cabling today. In reality, when Ethernet was first created, it was created using coaxial cable. And it was shared media because coax didn't have any ability to do things like we do today, where we do what we call home runs, where every computer has its own cable and it goes back to a central networking component called either a hub or a switch, depending on what kind of functionality it has. So we've got all of these cables that are running to this network device. But early on, it was really one long coaxial cable, and what you did was you clamped into the coax cable and you ran a connector out from that clamp-on connection. So we have really shared networking or shared media, where everybody's using the same wire to transmit across, and that's less so today, although we still have this concept of shared media. Part of the reason for that is depending on whether you've got a network device that's capable of doing the filtering to make sure that you only get the messages that are destined to you, then what you're really seeing is everything on the network. So you still get this concept of shared media. In the late 1970s, DEC, which is the Digital Equipment Corporation, which was eventually bought by Compaq, and then Compaq was bought by HP, Digital Intel and Xerox really took over Ethernet and started to promote it as a standard. As a result, for a while it was called the DICS protocol. Now we call it Ethernet, and it's really the most common of the layer 2, layer 1 networking that you're likely to see. As I said early on, it's a family of protocols, and most commonly you'll see it running across these Cat5 cables, or sometimes Cat6 or Cat5e cables, but you'll see it running across these cables that look like this with these connectors on them. Ethernet also can run over other media as well, including the air. So Wi-Fi, when Wi-Fi was first created, used many of the protocol concepts from Ethernet, and Ethernet is really implemented in the wireless standards. So the 802.11 really use Ethernet as the protocol foundation in terms of how things are framed and how they're put together. And we've got many different types of standards for Ethernet. There's the original 10-base-5, which you see mentioned here, used coax cable. And then we had 10-base-T, which used twisted pair. And then we have 100-base-T, and then there was 1000-base-T, which is Gigabit Ethernet. So we had a lot of different types of Ethernet protocols, depending on the speed that you're going at. And if you can't figure it out from the name, 10 references the fact that it's 10 megabits. 100 is 100 megabits, and 1000 is 1000 megabits, which is, of course, a gigabit. That's really the essence of the Ethernet protocol. And as I said, it really specifies the data link component, as it mentions here. So we get the layer 2 aspect of it, but of course there's also specifications for the physical side as well. These cables, for instance, are specified as part of the Ethernet suite of protocols.